Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's SmartGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Hang on 1 minute. I've got something that we've used previously on the show. Haven't used it in some time, but a nice welcome surprise. Hang on. Yeah, that is really, really terrific. Beth Jones very kindly sent along Folgers 1850 Black Gold. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice and smooth and flavorful. We got a little bit left, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make that this morning. It is a dark roast, but you know what? It's not overly bold at all. It really is terrific. I like it a lot. And we're using our Indiana Jones coffee mug that came to the channel courtesy of courtesy of viewer Jamie Horn. Thank you very, very much, Jamie. Really do appreciate it. And I'm using the Indiana Jones mug because, Indiana Jones off on an adventure and maybe looking for some artifact in gold. Well, there you go. Black gold coffee, kind of fits a theme right there. Hang on, one more sip. And this is really, really nice, given the fact that the last couple of shows we've been using instant coffee. I'm not saying that they're bad, but boy, there's something about a nice, fresh brewed cup of coffee. Now, viewer DRS6653 wrote, I think Nescafe Classico Instant is by far the best. Hey, that's another instant coffee we're going to have to look into. I know that some folks have mentioned Maxwell House. We've tried Nescafe Taster's Choice, and we've also tried the Folgers Instant. So the Nescafe Classico is one we're going to have to put on the list, as well as the Maxwell House. As Teddy Roosevelt said about Maxwell House coffee, good to the last drop. So I'm assuming that their instant coffee will be the same. Now, viewer Larry Sablotny wrote, I got a new Keurig machine, so it's back to Black Rifle Coffee. The new machine not only lets you choose coffee strength, but also the coffee temperature. That is really, really neat. And what a coincidence, and how ironic that you left that message, because just the other evening, I grabbed Black Rifle Coffee Keurig cup, and I put it in my Keurig machine. This one right here, yeah, I'm showing it to you right here. This one right here, and nothing. It did not work at all. And I called up their customer technical assistants, and they were very, very helpful. And we determined that the coffee machine just up and died, and it wasn't even pumping water or anything. It just did not work at all. So went ahead and went through the steps required to show them proof of purchase and a serial number and that sort of thing. They emailed me a form. I emailed them the information back, and a brand new Keurig machine is on the way, because I bought this one. Oops, almost came off there. I bought this one last year, July 2023. And, I haven't really used it that often, just maybe for the show. So maybe a couple of times a week, something like that. And it just kind of just up and died. So we went through the troubleshooting and all that. And they said, yeah, you know what? It's probably broken. So we will replace it because it was under warranty. How about that? So from July of last year to today, it was still under warranty. So I'm really happy about that. So the point is, a Keurig machine, buy with confidence. They stand behind their product. So I'm really, really happy about that. And when we get the new Keurig machine, when it arrives, we'll show it to you. Looking forward to that. But sorry that this one kind of gave up the ghost, but I don't know, it happens. But still, I got another coffee brewer there. I got a vintage electric percolator. I got instant coffee. So I got all the bases covered. And I got a wonderful Indiana Jones coffee mug, courtesy of Jamie Horn, and a great coffee, courtesy of viewer Beth Jones. So I'm all set. One more sip. And And as we like to say on the show, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug, let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Absolutely. Hey, if you're taking me along in your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really, really do appreciate it. If you are listening to the podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning into that. Really do appreciate that. Hey, we got a great show for you this morning. We got a great shaving tip. We got some really, really terrific refill comments. We got some new stuff in wet shaving gear I'm really, really excited to show you. And we got some questions and comments. So all in all, a really, really terrific show this morning. So let's kick it off like we do every morning. Well, first of all, let me say, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. So let's kick the show off like we do every single week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer David Richland. And David writes, "Hi Mark, I thought that I would share a possible shaving tip that was helpful for me and my daily shaves. I have a Henson mild razor that I got last year when I decided to adopt the traditional wet shave. I thought that I was going to save a lot of money buying this type of razor, but got caught in the rabbit hole, soaps, creams, brushes. Oh well, that's okay, David. It's a really nice rabbit hole to fall into." Anyhow, he continues here. "I want a slightly more aggressive shave, but I love my Henson mild razor. Then I found a video by Geo Fatboy showing how a heavier handle increases pressure for a closer shave. I bought a stainless steel Bravo SN 705 handle, around $42, which is much heavier than the stock Henson handle. It might even work with other razors. After a few weeks, I'm really happy with the results. I like this solution because I didn't have to buy another razor, as I really like the Henson, and I didn't want to have to adapt to a different razor. Also, the knurling is so good that it won't slip in my fingers, even if I have a ton of soap or cream on them. The steel handle is a ½ inch shorter than the aluminum one. Now the Henson handle length is 3.75 inches and the Bravo is 3.25 inches. I thought that I would share in case someone out there can relate. One more thing. I wake up every Monday morning whistling the tune to the Monday Morning Mailbag while making my coffee in anticipation of watching the latest edition of the Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks for all you do. I've learned so much and I'm so grateful for both the education and the fun way to start the week. Yours truly, David Richland, over at Deja Vu Hair Studio. They're located at 275 Center Avenue, Suite B, Aptos, California, 95003. We'll get their website linked below in case you're in the area and you want to get over there and pay them a visit over there at Deja Vu Hair Studio. And thanks very much for the kind words, David. I really do appreciate it. But again, all this great information is courtesy of all the great viewers out there. And I say this time and again, I really mean it. Without you, this microphone would be silent. And thanks for a really, really great shaving tip, because as we like to say on the show, 30 degrees, a light touch. Let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. Yeah, the weight of the razor. Let that weight of the razor do all the work. And perhaps getting a heavier handle on a particular razor head that you like will increase the efficiency of that shave and how it shaves for you. Absolutely fantastic, fantastic shaving tip. And I know a lot of viewers out there like to do this. I'd like to swap out razor heads with different handles to either increase the weight or to lighten up the weight, that sort of thing, kind of experiment with the weight of that handle. So a really, really fantastic shaving tip. And if you out there are doing this, if you've increased the weight of the razor handle on a particular razor head, please comment below and let us know what your results are. Or if you're going to try this, please try it and then comment below and let us know what your results were. A really, really terrific, terrific shaving tip. So if you want to increase the efficiency or the closeness of your shave, and you've got a favorite razor out there, just increase the weight of the handle. David, thank you very, very much. Really, really do appreciate it. And to say thank you for you and only you, an original signed George sketch. So please email me your snail mail address to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just send me a shaving tip. Email that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use it here on the morning shaving tip segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So David, thank you again very, very much for the really kind words about the Monday Morning Mailbag. And thank you again for a really, really terrific shaving tip. Really do appreciate it. Well, this morning we have a shave den visit and a discussion of shaving brushes, courtesy of viewer Dan Blackshear. And Dan writes, "Hey Mark, as always, great Monday morning mailbag and a second cup as good as the first. Happy belated Father's Day to everyone. I just wanted to share two things with you. Regarding the conversation between badger, boar, and synthetic knots, I want to share some thoughts. In the picture, I have my Goldilocks set of brushes and will explain them from right to left. The purple brush is a 26mm Frank's shaving with a synthetic G4 knot. This is the softest knot, and for $24, it is my go-to travel brush. The second brush is from AP Shave Company. It is a cream and wine Merit 99-4 handle with a 24mm pure Bliss knot that is $71 and a little firmer than the Frank's shaving and is a fantastic knot. The third brush is also from AP Shave Company and is the black and green Merit 99-5 handle with a 24mm G5A knot and is a little firmer. For $71, it's just as fantastic as the pure Bliss. And the fourth is a wooden handle from AP Shave Company with a G8 Max backbone knot. I got the G8 from Pete Hendricks, and it feels most like the firmness of a badger, but the tips are not scratchy in the least. $44. All of this is to say, the common theme of the brushes that work best for me is the handle. With the heritage or retro style longer handle, I get a much better grip on the brush and get a far better lather. With the Simpson brushes and other short handle brushes, I was just not comfortable with the shape of the handles. And while bowl lathering or face lathering, my hand would get covered in soap and make it difficult to continue without rinsing my hand and brush handle. Now I don't have to wash my brush hand every time before I finish lathering and before I can pick up my razor. Don't overlook the importance of how much handle shape impacts lathering and the enjoyment of the shave. These Merit 99-4 and 99-5 handles from AP Shave Company are the most comfortable and by far my favorite handle I have used. Even though the handle is $50, in my opinion, it is well worth the price. I also contacted the Timeless Razor guys with a picture of the Merit handle and asked them to consider making their current adjustable shave brush in this shape. This, to me, would be my ultimate brush handle, so fingers crossed. The second was regarding the discussion about blades. Barry from a new channel, A Texan Shaves, talked about how much he likes the Treat Platinum Super Stainless blades and felt they were incredible for the price. I decided to try them because you get 200 blades for $12. So far, I can get 2 great shaves from each blade, which makes the blade 3 cents per shave. They are sharp, smooth, and I get no irritation. I currently use Kai, Voskhod, Astrogreen, and now the Treat Super Stainless. These blades, though super cheap, are the best value for what you get that I have found so far. They are double wrapped and have no glue, an excellent addition to any shave corner or den. As always, thank you, Mark, for all you do for the wet shaving community, and I no longer dread Mondays. Blessings, Dan Blackshear. Hey, Dan, thanks very, very much for a really, really terrific review of all these great brushes that you have in your shave den. And also, thanks for the recommendation of the Treat Platinum blades. What do you call them again? I think we've had these on the channel. I'm going to have to look and see if there is a review of these. If there's a review, I'll link it below. I'm pretty sure we have talked about this particular Treat razor blade These are the Treat Platinum Super Stainless Blades. I think we have reviewed these on the channel. I could be mistaken. I might be confusing it with another type of Treat razor blade, but I'll double check. If I have used those and reviewed them, I will link the review below. So Dan, again, thanks so much for the tour of all your shaving brushes and the background information on them and the recommendation on the new razor blade. And you know what? I think we'll also link, well, I know we all, I know we will. We're going to link this new YouTube channel, Texan Shaves. We'll find him, we'll link him below so everyone else can check him out. So Dan, thanks again for a terrific email, discussion of the shaving brushes and blade recommendation. Really do appreciate it. Well, here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and more, Monday Morning Mailbag and more, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and now right here on YouTube. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low that time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on 1 minute. That is really a delightful coffee again from Beth Jones. Thank you very much, Beth. 1850 Folgers 1850 black gold coffee. Boy, oh boy, this is really good. It's a nice, smooth cup of coffee. It's a dark roast, but it doesn't have that that bite to it. It's really nice and smooth. Like this one a lot. Absolutely. So check it out at your local grocers. Crafted by 1850, the Folger Coffee Company Black Gold. Boy, this is really terrific. And again, we're using the Indiana Jones coffee mug because I happen to see the label on the coffee bag, Black Gold. And I'm thinking, yeah, Indiana Jones off on an adventure trying to find some gold artifact. That's why we're kind of pairing the coffee mug up with the coffee. Thanks again to Jamie Horn for a really wonderful coffee mug, Indiana Jones. Check that badge out. Check that out. Isn't that fantastic? That is absolutely fantastic. Definitely a favorite coffee mug here on the channel. Absolutely. And again, thanks to Beth Jones for the 1850 black gold coffee from Folgers. Really terrific. Hang on, one more sip. Absolutely fantastic. Well, we got some great comments in refill this week. Let's kick things off with something from Chris Whitty, Witte, and I believe I pronounced that correctly 2 weeks in a row. And Chris writes, great show. You did pronounce my name correctly. Got the lemon Prosecco soap from Shannon Soap. It's a great summer scent. I agree about the Phoenix brushes. I have the Amber Airlight, Green Ray, Phantom Airlight, and Star Wisp. I go back to these all the time because they just work. I agree with you. The Phoenix shaving brushes are absolutely fantastic. Wonderful synthetic shaving brushes. Great retro handles. They come in at great price points. Yeah, there's a lot to love about the Phoenix shaving synthetic shaving brushes. And yeah, that sounds like an absolutely fantastic summer shaving soap from Shannon Soap. We're going to have to get up to their website, find that, and link it below. So thanks very much for recommending it, Chris. Really do appreciate it. Bob LaRoe wrote, this is in reference to his shaving tip last week when he said use an Allen block to increase the grip on a slick razor handle when you're shaving. And I surmise that he happened to have an Edwin Jagger razor with a smooth handle. And he writes, hi, Mark, you're right about the Edwin Jagger razor I use. Great Monday morning mailbag as always. Well, that's great that you confirmed that, Bob, because I wanted to mention that it seems that beginner wet shavers, at least it was true for me, when you come back to the traditional wet shaver, you start the traditional wet shave, you're looking at a lot of different razors out there, and a lot of beginner wet shavers, myself included, gravitated towards this really, really wonderful razor from Edwin Jagger, the DE89L, meaning that the handle is lined. It's lined, so you can get a little bit of a better grip. The DE89 also comes unlined. It's a smooth handle, hence the reason why Bob would be using an alum block to help increase his grip, because the handle doesn't have any kind of knurling or any kind of line work on it to help with the grip. It's smooth, and that's what's characteristic, or that's what Edwin Jagger is known for, having these great razor heads on a variety of different handles. For instance, I have their ebony handle right here, and this is kind of a solid plastic, kind of a grippy kind of a handle here, a little shorter than the DE89L, okay? And also, this is the Kelvin. This is available exclusively through Amazon, and it has some really, really nice tight knurling on it. And again, it's the same length as the ebony handle, a little shorter handled razor. And you can see that compared to the DE89L. But that's what's so great about the Edwin Jagger razors. They have all these great handles. You can get the same great razor head with a variety of different handles. We featured them on the show. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? You know what razor handle from Edwin Jagger that we've been talking about on the channel? Hang on 1 minute. I'll go get it. This beautiful Edwin Jagger handle right here, which is smooth, but it's got that great shape that fits so nicely in the hand. And of course, we recently swapped out the Edwin Jagger razor head for the Mula R89. That's courtesy of viewer Mark Bagwell, because this Mula razor head has this brass threaded stud right there, which is a little hardier, a little more rugged. And it's a beautiful handle. And the Edwin Jagger razor heads have a zinc alloy threaded stud there. And you know what? If you drop it and it snaps, and if it likely breaks, that threaded stud is going to get stuck in the handle, and the handle's no good. And that's why Mark Bagwell said, hey, for that handle, you know what? Use the Mula R89 razor head with that brass threaded stud. And he very, very kindly sent it to the channel. So thanks again, Mark. Really do appreciate it. But again, another smooth-handled razor handle. Another smooth-handled razor handle. There you go. From Edwin Jagger, which would warrant using an alum block to help increase the grip. Love this handle from Edwin Jagger. Absolutely fantastic. And I love all the Edwin Jagger razors and all their different handle designs. Really, really terrific. So if you're a beginner wet shaver, check out the Edwin Jagger razors or the Mula R89 from Mula. Just an absolutely fantastic razor. So yeah, thanks very, very much for confirming the smooth handle on your Edwin Jagger razor, Bob. Really, really do appreciate it. Oh, we got this from Jake Collette at Collette Classic. We've been talking about their shaving soaps. Stay tuned in new wet shaving gear. We're going to show you a couple of others from Collette Classics. And he writes this regarding lathering bowl. My favorite bowl is still my 10-year-old yellow Tupperware mixing bowl. It's like 6 inches in diameter and grooved from years of mixing stuff repeatedly. Whips up a lather like you wouldn't believe. Soap looked great, Mark. Well, this is in regards to one of the reviews I did on the Collette Classic shaving soaps. And yeah, they lathered a treat. We'll be talking about those a little later again in new wet shave gear. So Jake, thanks very, very much for that. And they make a really, really wonderful shaving soap. 2 formulas, CC1, CC2. We'll talk about that new wet shave gear. Stay tuned. Oh, this is also from Jake's wife, Allison. And she writes, hi, Mark. I'm Allison, the second half of Collette Classic. I want to thank you for speaking about our company. It means a lot. I enjoyed watching your video. You are wonderful to watch. Keep up the good work. Allison, thank you very, very much for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. And once again, this channel is here because of all the wonderful viewers out there that contribute so many great things to it, whether it be shaving gear, comments, information, their research, whatever it is, their photos, their shave den photos, shaving tips, tips and tricks, anecdotes. Viewers make this channel. So while it's very nice to hear that you enjoy watching me on the show, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the viewers and all the great stuff and information that they send to the channel. So thanks very much for that. And allow me to pass your thanks on to all the viewers out there who make this show and channel possible. Thanks very much, Allison. I really do appreciate it. James Sefton wrote, another Grand Slam 3MB is in the books, and thanks for using the pictures I sent you on the show and the shaving brushes under the medicine cabinet. Oh, here's what he says. Yeah, this is in regards to the medicine cabinet. The shave den visit that James sent to us, I believe it was last week. And the shaving brush, he has a new medicine cabinet in another part of the house as kind of an extension of his shave den where he can keep overflow shave gear. And the shaving brushes were mounted on the underside of the medicine cabinet. And I was thinking that maybe they were attached by magnets. Well, he's confirming this. He says, and the shaving brushes under the medicine cabinet are held on by gluing rare earth magnets to the cabinet and to the handle of the brush. Have a great day and rest of the week. And summer is upon us. Yeah, last Thursday was the summer solstice. We're in the summer months right now. We've had some really hot weather. And I've been doing cold water shaves, both for reviews and just in the shave den. My gosh, are they refreshing? Absolutely. So here's to summer and cold water shaves. Scott Martin. Oh, so thanks very much for that, James. Really do appreciate you confirming the magnets and the brushes on your new medicine cabinet. Thanks very much. Scott Martin wrote, Bob's tip about using alum to get a better grip on your razor is always important, as new wet shavers may not have heard about this very effective technique. With all the soaps and oils and slippery products associated with shaving, it's easy to lose your grip on your very sharp razor. I will add this one caveat. Once you soak your fingers and rub them in alum, be very careful to not drip any of the alum water on your blade accidentally. If you get alum on your blade, that sticky and grippy effect will work against you, and the razor will grab your skin rather than glide over it. Nicks and cuts are almost guaranteed. I've done this more than once, and boy, that razor bit me hard. I'm now very careful to keep that alum on the handle where it belongs. Cheers, Scott. Scott, thank you very, very much for that. I didn't know this. This is something I didn't know. I'm so happy to include your comment in the refill segment here this morning, and we might mention this again down the road in maybe an extra shaving tip. It is that important and valuable. Wow. Thank you very, very much for that. So there you go, folks. Be careful where you use the alum. Handle only, not on the razor head or that blade. Yeah, really, really terrific, terrific piece of information there, Scott. Thank you so very, very much. Jimmy V Photography wrote, good one, bringing back the tip about using alum to make a better grip. I think many of us have put in that tip over the years, and it bears repeating for sure. I absolutely agree. And a lot of shaving tips that we have are, a lot of them, well, yes, some of them are repeat tips. And we always enjoy revisiting those shaving tips because, as Jimmy points out and as Scott points out, there are new viewers tuning in all the time, new subscribers, and they may have missed that shaving tip that we ran maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. And this way they get to see it fresh and anew. And it's just as valuable now repeating again as it was the first time around. So I agree absolutely, Jimmy. Definitely bears repeating for sure. He continues here. My alum block sits in the dry dock, and after every application of lather, I dip my fingers in water and run across the alum. It helps with the razor grip and when stretching skin out a bit. Now, this is something else that I failed to mention, and this is really a great point, Jimmy. A lot of wet shavers out there, and I'm not one of them, but a lot of wet shavers out there like to, they like to stretch the skin like this. They like to get, I'm right-handed, so I would have the razor here in my right hand. So that I'll do it this way. You would run your alum on your well, in my case, it would be my left hand, and I would increase the grip and then be able to stretch that skin and then use that razor right there and shave away that whisker. Now, I use my facial muscles to kind of increase the stretch my skin, that sort of thing. But a lot of wet shavers like to use the opposing hand. In my case, in this example, it was left hand with the right hand on the razor handle there. Applying alum to your fingertips and then stretching your skin will definitely help. Really terrific point there, Jimmy. Thanks so much for sending it along. Really appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to use that as an extra shaving tip as well, because this is something that new wet shavers might not realize. An absolutely helpful tip. Thanks again for that. He continues here. Sad to say, you can't duplicate the way a slant razor works by holding the razor on an angle. The geometry of a slanted head is different from just angling the razor. It might still be a good shave. However, you won't get the true advantage of a slant razor. But as they say, shave on. Hey, Jimmy, thanks very much for pointing that out. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion later on in the show. I think it's in questions and comments, courtesy of Roderick McLeod. We'll discuss that a litting bit more. Interesting you should mention it, and thank you very much for pointing it out. Again, in anticipation of Roderick's discussion on this subject. 10 fluid ounces. So Jimmy, thanks very much for those comments. Really terrific. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes writes, that comment idea about changing the stroke angle of a normal double-edged razor to simulate using a slant razor is, one would guess, something many people have thought about, but maybe not many have tried. You know what? I agree with you, 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes. I absolutely do. It's one of those ideas where, you know what, should I do that? Would that be, just angling that? Should I try that? And maybe you don't want to do it because you haven't seen anyone confirm it. Well, this is a way of confirming it right here on the show. There are some wet shavers out there who will angle the razor to simulate a slant razor. Again, more on that later on in the show in questions and comments. So thanks very much for that. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes. Viewer A.S. Watson 76 writes, hi, Mark. My wife and I have that exact Corel pattern for our everyday dishes, plates, bowls, and mugs. Growing up, my grandparents had that same design, and I got the entire set a few years ago. It's great to see you using the mug. Yeah, this is in regards to this particular mug here. This belonged to my folks. This is that Corel pattern here that he's talking about. And of course, the bottom of it, it's Pyrex. It says Pyrex right there. I don't know if you can see that. Try to angle it so the light catches it. So it's microwavable safe. Boy, these mugs and plates and dishes and bowls were everywhere. Everyone seemed to have this pattern here, and I think it was in different colors. Blue, I think maybe orange and red, and of course we have the green here. I have the green here. And of course, you are right, Mr. Watson. It's a Corel. Here's the plate right here with the same pattern. Okay, you can see that same pattern there. And on the back, it says Corel. How about that right there? Corel. How about that? Yeah, absolutely. And whenever I hear Corel, I'm thinking about the graphics imaging program, the graphics editing program. Corel, was it Corel Paint Shop Pro, I think? I'm not sure, but Corel made a graphics editing program, image editing program that was in competition with Adobe Photoshop at one time. And that's what I was using for a little while. I kind of bounced around from graphic editing program to graphics editing program. When I moved over to Linux, I used the GNU image manipulation program called GIMP. And I've used that ever since. I use that on the Linux platform and also on the Windows platform. I think it's also available for Mac, and it's completely free, and it's open source. And that's the other reason why I use it, because it's free, it's community-based, it doesn't have a subscription fee associated with it, and it is quite powerful and gives you all the tools that you would need to edit photos and that sort of thing. And I use it for all my cartoon work. It's just something I gravitated towards when I was using Linux. But whenever I hear Corel, I'm thinking graphics editing and not necessarily dinnerware. So thanks very much for pointing that out, A.S. Watson 76. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, and this This stuff is great. It really is. It's really terrific. It wears like iron. And this is a mug that I will use with instant coffee because it's microwavable. You just put the water in there, put it in the microwave, and then add a heaping teaspoon of instant coffee, and you're good to go. Okay. Thanks very much for that, A.S. Watson. Really do appreciate it. Bill Murphy wrote, great 3MB as usual, Mark. Thanks for sharing my solstice shave. Just received my Atomic Rocket fan tip brush and will be using it tomorrow. Hope you enjoy Old Salty. It's a great summer scent. Have a great week, Mark. Hey, Bill, thanks very much. Thanks to you and Jimmy V Photography, and also to Rob Bruno for recommending Old Salty that arrived in the Shave Den, as well as the new Atomic Rocket shaving brush. We'll be showing those to you in new wet shaving gear, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, your solstice shave, your summer solstice shave was absolutely fantastic. And it's one that viewers can do all summer long now that summer has started. As of last Thursday, the summer solstice. So thanks very much for sending that along, Bill. Really do appreciate it. A great reminder of the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And I always look forward to that. Never want to miss that. Always want to be around for the longest day of the year. Absolutely fantastic. So thanks again, Bill. Really do appreciate it. Hey, viewer Mike H. wrote, hi, Mark. Great Monday morning mailbag. Thank you. Very informative segments throughout, as always. Thanks very much for that, Mike. I really do appreciate it. Now, he comments about old coffee cans and repurposing them. We talked about this last week. We had a viewer say, hey, you know what? I always look for old coffee cans because, there's something rustic and nostalgic and vintage about it. And I happen to mention, old coffee cans. I can remember them being repurposed and wanted to know if anybody knows how they used to or currently repurpose those terrific metal coffee cans. And Mike writes, old coffee cans are fantastic for repurposing. I remember my dad using them for nuts, bolts, and assorted metal washers. We usually had chock full of nuts or Martinson coffee cans. Have a wonderful start to the week and best regards as always. Hey, Mike, thanks very, very much. I'm familiar with chock full of nuts, but Martinson coffee cans, that is one I have never heard of. That must be a regional coffee in another part of the country. You didn't make it here to Ohio, Northeast Ohio. That's my guess. But chock full of nuts, absolutely, very, very familiar with that one. Heavenly coffee, yeah. Better coffee than millionaires money can buy. That was their tagline. So thanks very much for that, Mike. Really appreciate it. Charles Price wrote, coffee cans and pipe clamps will patch a muffler and exhaust pipes all day long. Thanks very much for that repurposing tip and trick with a coffee can, Charles. Really do appreciate that. Viewer Glenn Takis wrote, hey, Mark, awesome 3MB show. Coffee cans are good for planter pots. Also, Mark, thank you for the shout out. Oh, Glenn, my pleasure. Absolutely. And yeah, planter pots, coffee cans for planter pots. That's, yeah. I mean, we're all about repurposing things here on the show. And we've mentioned that in regards to different wet shaving gear that we repurpose and go through and whatever else, containers and boxes and things like that. I think one of the repurposing tips we had was the great artwork on the Phoenix shaving boxes, whether it be for brushes or aftershaves. You can cut those up and use them as bookmarks. That was a fantastic tip because of all that great artwork there. So yeah, we're always looking for repurposing tips of what we have in the shave den, and instead of throwing it out, repurposing it. So thanks very much for that, Glenn. Steve M writes, nice referencing boars, Mark. They typically get lost in the discussion to synthetics and badgers. Yeah, I agree with you. Boar brushes should be discussed more often. And yeah, I'm glad that you pointed that out, Stephen. He continues here. Boars shed more initially, but once broken in, they are indeed soft and great. They also are generally not expensive, can be less than some synthetics, and they are not lather hogs as much as some badgers. Boy, oh boy, you know what? I agree with you. Here, Stephen. I agree with you on all those points. As a matter of fact, viewer Mark Bagwell pointed out to us that the Zenith boar brushes are absolutely wonderful because they come in at like $10 and $12. And man, you get a great brush with some great performance from them. Really terrific. Check out those Zenith boar brushes. And you're absolutely right, Steve. Some of these boar brushes come in at a lower price, as I just pointed out. As Mark Bagwell pointed out, these Zenith brushes are like $10, $12, maybe $15. And you compare that to some synthetic brushes, which are $20, $25, etc. So yeah, you get some great performance from some really nice boar brushes, great price point, a good brush, and great performance overall as far as building lather. And I agree, they don't hog that lather as can happen with the Badger brush. But again, I think that comes down to technique with a Badger brush. Again, if comment below and let me know if I'm correct on that. The Badger brush use and technique has to be a little different so it doesn't eat that lather. But boar brushes are great. Yes, there's that break-in period. And again, there are some shortcuts to that we've talked about on the channel. And I'll try to find that review on how you can shorten the break-in time on a boar brush. Just be careful not to use this particular tip with a wooden-handled boar brush because it could split the handle, as one viewer pointed out to us. So, Stephen, thanks very much for the terrific comments regarding boar brushes. Really do appreciate it. Great points. Viewer Robert Ross writes, "No amount of convincing will ever get me to buy a Badger brush. To rival the performance of a G5C knot in a Badger, I would have to spend a fortune. I have used my G5C knot over the past few months and have not been gentle with it at all. When I bowl lather, the brush gets a real workout. It cleans up easily and dries quickly. It still looks like new. The debate is over. Synthetic brushes, pound for pound, punch way above their weight." Robert, you know what? I agree with you. I agree with you as far as the synthetic brushes being really sturdy, really rugged, very forgiving. We've pointed this out on the channel and on the program before. The synthetic brushes, yeah, I agree. I mean, you can give them a real workout, and they really respond. They hold up well. And they come in at a great price point. They're very soft. They have some good backbone. But I agree with you. You don't have to be gentle with them at all. You can give them a real good workout, and they just respond. And they create great lathers. Absolutely terrific. Yeah, terrific comment. And I agree with you 100%. Although I will say this. I am not one who has had a lot of Badger brushes. I think I have 3. I have a silver tip Badger brush that viewer Simon Hazanov's made, cobbled together, and sent to the channel. Thank you again, Simon, very much. And I have a couple of Badger knots from Maggard Razor, some of the other high-density Badger knots that I use in the Timeless Razor adjustable shave brush handle. And I think those are very good. As a matter of fact, I was so impressed with those Badger knots that when I first used them, I thought they were synthetic. That's how good I thought they were. But they're a very densely packed Badger hair knot. Yeah, those were very good. So I would say to anyone out there, if you want to try a nice Badger knot at a pretty good price point, I think it was about $50 for those knots a piece, something like that. Get that Timeless Razor adjustable shave brush handle and get a couple of these Badger knots from Maggard Razor, and you can put those in the handle and switch them out and switch them around, swap them around to your heart's content, and try them out that way, and even get a few synthetic knots for that handle. And then you have all manner of different kinds of shaving brushes in your shave den with just the one handle. So check those Badger knots out. We will link them below, as well as the handle from Timeless Razor. This is from Brian Gallatin, 704, and he writes, "Hey Mark, Walmart has a similar salsa bowl, but the texture is also inside the bowl and was only $1. Wow, I'm going to go to Walmart and check that out. We talked about the Dollar General lathering bowl. It's a salsa bowl last week, and it was like $2.75. And it was plastic. It had it had kind of like a little rough exterior on the outside so you can get a nice grip. And it was very, very smooth on the inside. And here Brian is saying that Walmart has something similar, but there's a little bit of texture on the inside, and that will definitely aid in whipping up a lather. So I'm going to go to Walmart, my local Walmart, and I'm going to check that out and see if I can find that salsa bowl and see if it's the same size as the one from Dollar General and see it and compare that textured interior to the smooth interior. So thanks very much for that, Brian. Really, really do appreciate it. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, in previous Monday morning mailbags, we've introduced viewers to Collette Classic Supply Company and their wonderful artisan shave soaps in 2 formulations, CC2 and CC1. And here's the difference between the two. As they write on their product page for CC2, they say roughly 5 ounces of our upgraded shaving soap that will leave your skin feeling moisturized, soothed, and ready to tackle the day. We wanted to create a recipe that was a step up from our original CC1 formula, but that didn't bump the price all the way to the moon. The big differences between the CC1 and the CC2 formulas are the additional oils the CC2 formula has to help fight off nicks, keep your skin slick between passes, and help soothe your skin after the shave. The addition of bentonite clay helps give your razor extra glide across the skin, and the additional glycerin helps soften your hairs before attempting to cut them. This is a very balanced shave soap with all the things you want and none of the extra bits that you don't actually need. So there it is, the difference between CC2 and CC1. CC2 has some great extra ingredients, but CC1 also offers a wonderful formulation that will give you everything you need for your daily shave. So we've reviewed both of these, and I think the CC1 review runs this week if it hasn't already run. I have to double check the schedule again, but both of these were really, really wonderful, and I wanted to show them to you again once more. They also sent along another terrific scent. Well, this scent right here is the smoked cedar and leather, which is a very, very popular seller for them. And of course, we reviewed also the citrus and basil. This was great. This was a barbershop-like scent. The citrus and the basil were evenly balanced. One didn't overtake the other. Really, really terrific. It really hit me as a barbershop-like scent. Really, really terrific. And they also sent along honey almond, another really, really terrific scent. Really, really terrific. Now, the really neat thing about their shave soaps is the fact that the scent will last throughout the shave, and then after the shave, the scent will fade away, so you can use whatever aftershave splash or balm that you want, and it won't get in the way of the scent that was in the shave soap that you just shaved with. Got a couple of other sample pucks here, or I should say refill pucks, that they sent along to the channel. Now, the CC1 formula is available in refill pucks. The CC2 formula is not available in refill pucks. So both of these here are CC1. This one here is a terrific, terrific scent. Lavender and white pepper. My gosh, this is marvelous. Now, remember what I just said about the scent performing very well during the shave and then fading away after the shave? Well, boy, this scent is coming right through the wrapper here. It's absolutely marvelous. And yeah, this is going to be great. And that's what it is, lavender and white pepper. And it sounds just as awesome as the description. Very simple. You know, the ingredients and the scent notes, very, very simple. Lavender and white pepper. You know exactly what it is. Really, really terrific. I like this scent a lot. Looking forward to using that and reviewing it. And their other one that they have here, which is also a refill puck, which is a very good seller for them in CC1. Fresh, clean sheets. Boy, this is really nice. And that's exactly the scent. It is fresh and clean, like fresh, clean sheets. Really, really wonderful. You can use this year-round, but also great for the summer months as well. Now, during the month of June, they're offering a discount to viewers out there who use the code ClassicMark20. That's Classic Mark in capital letters, ClassicMark20, Classic Mark 20 for 20% off your order during the month of June. We're in the last month of June, so if you want to try any of the shave soaps from the folks at Collette Classic Supply Company and get 20% off, do it during the month of June, because after June, that coupon's not going to be valid anymore. So check them out. We'll have links below. We'll also have a reminder of the code ClassicMark20, where you can get 20% off your order during the month of June. Again, Collette Classic Supply Company, where you can get some really terrific artisan shave soaps. My thanks again to Jake and Allison Collette for very kindly sending these soaps to the channel and allowing me to share them with all the viewers. Thanks again, Jake and Allison. Really do appreciate it. Well, we have some new shave gear that arrived in the Shave Den a few days ago. And as promised, want to show it to you. Here it is from Phoenix Shaving, Old Salty. Boy, oh boy, is this a great scent. My gosh. And you can see it's a brand new puck. I haven't used or reviewed it just yet. I wanted to show you that it is a brand new puck. And this scent is marvelous. My gosh. Here's the scent profile. A clean, fresh, bracing scent of salty, crisp ocean air surrounded by hints of balsam, driftwood, and citrus with quieter notes of oak moss and vanilla. Absolutely perfect description of this scent. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for the summer or really year-round. But yeah, this is going to be great for the summer. Oh, this is absolutely wonderful. I love this artwork. Check out that artwork right there. And I got the holographic label there. I also went ahead and got the aftershave splash, which promises to be very, very good, and the star jelly. Looking forward to using and reviewing these. My thanks to Jimmy V Photography, Bill Murphy, and Rob Bruno for recommending Old Salty, and all the other viewers who mentioned it in passing. It really is a terrific, terrific scent. Get up there and get it before it's gone, because this is wonderful. I mean, if you like the ocean breeze and the ocean coastline and that sort of thing, this is the scent. Really, really marvelous, marvelous scent. Also that arrived in the Shave Den is the brand new shave brush from Phoenix Shaving, the Atomic Rocket with the fan knot. Check that out. Here's the original Atomic Rocket right here, but here is the new fan knot. And we have been using this. I've used this for about 2-3 shaves already. It's wonderful. It is absolutely marvelous. And yeah, that fan knot does give you a little bit of a different feel when you're painting that lather on or doing a face lather. It's marvelous. It really, it's marvelous. Again, this goes back to what we've been saying on today's show about how rugged and terrific these synthetic shaving brushes and synthetic shaving brush knots are. They wear like iron, and they give great, great performance. And you don't have to be real gentle with them. And this Atomic Rocket handle, I believe Kenny Embry did a review on these brushes last week. Check out his review. It was terrific. But as he mentioned, this is an homage to the classic Ever-Ready brush handle. And it's terrific. It is very, very substantial. And as Dan Blackshear was saying, he likes longer handles that are a little more substantial. Well, the Atomic Rocket gives you that right there. Absolutely fantastic. And I love the color scheme. And now it comes in an option of 2 different knots, the original and also the fan knot. Really, really terrific, terrific shaving brushes, but this fan knot really does offer some really wonderful performance and a different feel to kind of change up the way you're applying the lather to your face, whether you're doing a face lather or a bowl lather. Really like this a lot. So again, a great brush from Phoenix Shaving in the new Atomic Rocket with the fan brush knot or the fan knot. And Old Salty, check this out. An absolutely wonderful scent for the summer or year round. Thanks again to Jimmy V, Rob Bruno, and Bill Murphy for recommending this. And for thanks to Bill Murphy for pointing out the new Atomic Rocket shaving brush. Gentlemen, thank you all again very, very much. Viewer Mark Bagwell sent along this review of Ariana and Evan's Plum and Bliss shaving cream. And Mark writes, time to check in with Peter Sharkalis again and see what he's been up to. Looks like he's been making more shaving creams. This one is called Plum and Bliss, and I gotta tell you, I really like this. Now, I wasn't convinced this would be for me when I ordered it because of the scent notes. Think of Asian plum meets Cannabis Santal. Oh yeah, that's why I was dubious. Having said that, this is really good. It was easy building a deep, rich lather. I used my Captain's Choice copper bowl called the Obsidian. My brush was a Simpson Chubby 3 loaded with a 29mm Sovereign fiber synthetic knot. This is definitely one of the best synthetic knots being made today. And yes, the color of the brush is hot pink. Don't judge me. Let's talk about the performance. The cream creates a dense lather that is both slick and cushiony. I rated a solid 10 out of 10, and the residue slickness is a solid 10. You can shave on the residue slickness. Peter Sharkalis made a video of himself doing just that. My final thoughts. Ariana and Evans make some of the best shaving creams in the world. You need to try these. Hey, Mark, thanks very, very much for this review. I agree. The shaving creams from Ariana and Evans are absolutely wonderful. Peter is knocking it out of the park. This plum, this particular scent, Plum and Bliss shaving cream. I sampled this scent at the Maggard meetup. Peter had it there. I sampled it. It's marvelous. It really is very, very good. You're going to love this scent. Try Plum and Bliss shaving cream from Ariana and Evans. As Mark notes, just absolutely fantastic, outstanding performance, but this scent really is wonderful and unique. Hey, Mark, thanks again for a terrific review. Really do appreciate it. Well, you saw it in the previous review, so we're going to talk about it a little more in case you're curious. From Mark Bagwell, a review of his Simpson Chubby 3 loaded with a Sovereign grade synthetic fiber knot. And he writes, let's go ahead and get it out of the way. It's pink. In fact, it's hot pink. And I love it. So please, no pink brush jokes because I've already heard them all from my wife. And don't judge me. I'm weak when it comes to Simpson brushes. Here are the brush specifications. Overall brush height, 106 millimeters. Handle height, 48 millimeters. Loft, 58 millimeters. Knot diameter, 29 millimeters. It would be difficult to find a better looking grooming tool. Well, Mark, it's an absolutely awesome looking shaving brush in hot pink, and I'm definitely sure that it stands out in your shave den. So folks, if you want a shaving brush that'll stand out in your shave den, check out Simpson brushes. We'll link them below. Mark, thanks again for the great review and the photos of one of your favorite brushes in hot pink from Simpson, the Chubby 3 loaded with a Sovereign gray synthetic fiber knot. Thanks again, Mark. Really do appreciate it. Well, this review came in from viewer Chris Bodrab, and I believe I pronounced his last name correctly this time. I was mispronouncing it in previous Monday morning mailbags. It's spelled B-O-J-R-A-B, and I believe it's pronounced Bodrab. He was sending me via email the phonetic spelling of it, and I think it's Chris Bodrab. Chris, I hope I got it right this time around. Anyhow, he sent along a review of Alpha Shaving Works Outlaw Evolution in bronze. And Chris writes, this is a very brief unboxing video of the new Alpha Shaving Works Outlaw Evolution in bronze. Like all of their razors, this one is superb. The Outlaw Evolutions are among my very best shavers. I think they compare very well with the timeless razors in terms of comfort and efficiency. At least that's probably the closest thing I can think to compare them to of everything else in my shave den. They seem to do a great job with about any blade I throw at them, but I frequently use Persona Platinum, Gillette Platinum, Bic Chrome, but I've also used many others and have not found a bad combination. The Outlaw Evolution is in its second iteration with some refinements to increase the blade clamping by 300% and to adjust some of the other geometries since the first iteration, which I never tried. It is offered in stainless steel, titanium, and a special bronze alloy that seems so hard to be much less likely to patina, although I'm told this can happen over time. The bronze was offered for a limited time and is not currently available, but you never know if there is enough demand. I suppose it's possible it will be offered again, but the price for the bronze was a fantastic deal as it was initially offered for $160, including a solid bronze stand. The stainless steel was offered between $125 and $160, and they are currently sold out as well. The titanium is still available on their site for $250. If you have never checked out this artisan, I would highly encourage people to take a look. His products are absolutely top-notch, and he is very responsive to questions or concerns. Thanks again for your great channel, Chris Bodrab, I think is how it's pronounced. Chris, I hope I got your last name correctly. And really a terrific, terrific review. And thanks very much for sending along the video. The razor is stunningly beautiful. And let's hope that they offer it again for sale on their website. We'll have a link below so you can check it out yourself. And the titanium is still available for $250. And let's hope they have that bronze and stainless steel available again. So thanks again, Chris, for a wonderful review of some wonderful razors from Alpha Shaving Works. And here's hoping that they offer them again on their website. But it's a great heads up in the meantime. So thanks again, Chris. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up this week's look at New Wet Shaving Gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. Well, it's the start of the summer season, and a lot of us like to catch up on our summer reading. I want to recommend a book to you. It also ties in to a comment that Mark Bagwell sent along to the channel. We'll get to that in just a moment. The book is Destiny of the Republic by Candace Millard, and the subtitle is A Tale of Madness, Medicine, and the Murder of a President. Now, this is about the assassination of President Garfield. He was shot in June of 1881 and lingered and finally died, I believe, in September of that year. The reason why he lingered is because they couldn't find the bullet. Now, in 1876, at the World's Fair in Philadelphia, Dr. Lister came over from England to talk about antiseptic surgery and how you should use antiseptics and sterilize your tools and use antiseptics and alcohol and those kinds of things when you do surgery. And no one believed him. Well, several years later, President Garfield is shot and they're trying to find the bullet, and using unsterilized tools and tools that are not using anything that's antiseptic, they end up infecting his body, thus slowly killing him. And that's what this book is about. Really fascinating. Alexander Graham Bell figures into this, and it really is a terrific, terrific summer read. Now, here's what Mark Bagwell sent along, kind of relates to this. On April 5th, 1923, Egyptologist Lord Carnarvon, the 57-year-old financial backer of the Tutankhamun search, who opened the tomb along with Egyptologist Howard Carter, died of an infected mosquito bite he'd slashed open while shaving. No aftershave. Yeah, how about that? I guess that's why we talk about using an alum block and using a good alcohol aftershave splash, that sort of thing. Because, yeah, it does. You want to have something with those antiseptic properties if you get those little nicks and cuts here and there. And an alum block has those antiseptic and astringent qualities. And, of course, a good alcohol-based aftershave splash will also help heal up those small micro nicks, that sort of thing. And a good styptic pencil and that sort of thing. It's just a good practice to have in your shaving routine. But, again, this discussion all came about because I recommended this book in last week's Second Cup for those who are doing some summer reading, and it really is terrific. Destiny of the Republic by Candace Millard. It really is terrific. It reads like a movie. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. Yeah, it really was terrific. I enjoyed it. Very entertaining, very educational, very informative. And of course, President Garfield was from Northeast Ohio, Mentor, Ohio, which is just 20 minutes up the road from me. And we have a Garfield Museum up there as well. And he's been laid to rest at Lakeview Cemetery in Cleveland. So there's a large mausoleum that he's buried in Lakeview Cemetery right there. The Garfield Mausoleum, I guess it's called. And John D. Rockefeller is also buried in Lakeview Cemetery as well. And if you go to his headstone, there are dimes that have been placed on his headstone. People do that as a matter of tradition. I did it myself too. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Okay, but anyhow, Destiny of the Republic, very, very good summer read. I'm going to suggest two more books for your summer reading. This one's terrific. I've talked about it before in the past. Theodore Rex by Edmund Morris. This is about Teddy Roosevelt's presidency. This is terrific. This reads like a movie as well, and you really get to know the man and his presidency through this book. Although there are times when it does drag on a little bit regarding the political theater back and forth, the different bills and laws and those kinds of things that he gets wrapped up in. But all in all, it's worth kind of slogging through those parts where it slows down a little bit to really get to a lot of the action and the life of a truly, truly great and beloved president. Theodore Rex by Edmund Morris. One more book I'll recommend, and that is the Walter Isaacson biography of Steve Jobs. It's simply called Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. Boy, this was a terrific read. Walter Isaacson's a very, very good writer, and you learn a lot about Steve Jobs in this book. I've often remarked to friends that when I read this book, I'm a Windows user, I'm a Linux user, and I'm a Windows user, and I've never really used a Mac or an Apple computer. In reading this book, as I'm reading it, I'm reading about Steve Jobs, I say to myself, tomorrow, I am going to go to the Apple store and I'm going to buy an Apple computer. And then I read a few more pages and I say to myself, I'm never buying an Apple computer. Because that's kind of the love-hate relationship you have with Steve Jobs. It goes back and forth. But really a terrific read, and you really learn a lot about Steve Jobs. So there's some recommendations for summer reading if you'd like to partake in that. Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, Theodore Rex by Edmund Morris, and Destiny of the Republic by Candace Millard, and a little anecdote regarding aftershave splash. Thanks again to Mark Bagwell. Really do appreciate it. Well, we were talking about using a DE razor and angling it to kind of mimic using a slant. And a little bit of a discussion there, maybe a polite disagreement as to whether this really works or not. Here's what Roderick McLeod sent along. And he wrote, Mimicking a Slant. Hiya, Mark. Regarding the Mimicking a Slant from today's 3MB. That's been around a long time. Mantic59 calls it the Gillette slide. That also seems to be the term used by most of the people in the online forums like Badger and Blade. Just search Gillette Slide on Google or the forums, and you'll see lots of links and threads. It's covered by Mantic59 on one of his videos about advanced shaving techniques, and we'll link that video below as well. There was also literature from Gillette that covered these techniques. Gillette even called it, quote, the right way to shave, unquote. Well, how about that? Angling the razor a little bit was endorsed by Gillette, and they called it the right way to shave. Now, this all came about because last week, viewer Paul Desjardins suggested to everyone that this is how he's kind of getting a slant razor shave without having a slant razor. He's just taking his regular GE razor and angling it a little bit. And the claim here is that it mimics a slant and gives him that kind of shave. And here, Roderick McLeod offering a little bit of research here and passing along a link from Mantic59 where the Gillette Slide is sort of like this in mimicking a slant of sorts. Now, I was talking to Paul Desjardins about this, and the Gillette Slide discussion did come up, and he said, no, he's not doing it that way. He's angling it and just using it in an up and down kind of shaving pattern. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless, it really is interesting that there are these advanced shaving techniques that you can do with a safety razor, and even some of them were known to mimic that of a slant, the Gillette Slide. Really fascinating stuff. If anyone else has any further information on this, please comment below and let us know, or drop me an email at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I'll share it with all the viewers out there. Really amazing. Not only is a safety razor a great way to shave, but there are these advanced shaving techniques that have been around, it sounds like, for quite some time. And thanks to Mantic59 for putting up a video that discusses and shows and illustrates these advanced shaving techniques. So thanks again to Roderick McLeod for some great information regarding mimicking a slant with a DE safety razor. Thanks again, Roderick. Really do appreciate it. Well, in a previous Monday morning mailbag, we talked about making your own scented aftershave balms. I believe it was Mark Bagwell who sent that information along. And Rodney Ripplinger sent this email to the channel. Hi, Mark. I watched with interest the piece you had on 3MB about making scented balms to match your aftershave or splash. I wondered what I had on hand to give this method a try. What I came up with was using a small amount of Aveeno and aftershave. I like the Aveeno product because it works well for me. I used a few drops of Lustre Blue Spice aftershave to complete the balm. It worked perfectly. Aveeno seems to not have much of a scent on its own, so the blending worked out as I hoped it would. Rodney. Hey, Rodney, thanks very much for this. And it so happens that I have Aveeno right here. That's great to hear. And this one is fragrance-free right there. Yeah, there it is, fragrance-free. And I am looking forward to using this for a scented balm because it's fragrance-free and I can use any kind of aftershave splash I want. First up, again, is going to be Grand Bay Rum. This was very kindly sent to the channel by viewer Mark Bagwell. Now, I had originally said that I was going to use it with the Hendricks Classics and Company Unscented Balm. I'll still do that, so I'll get to compare this with also the Aveeno to see how they stack up. And the reason why we're talking about the Grand Bay Rum is because Mark Bagwell also sent some information regarding Bay Rum aftershave splashes. And he wrote, Bay Rum is also helpful in hydrating your skin, therefore preventing dandruff. Creates a more vibrant skin. Bay Rum is frequently found in Bay Rum aftershaves because bay leaves help to de-stress your skin, thus preventing the occurrence of wrinkles and skin outbreaks. How about that? So Bay Rum has a lot of great uses. which is another reason why I guess we like using it so much. It really is terrific. So the Grand Bay Bay Rum is very, very good. And we're going to mix that up with Aveeno and get a Bay Rum Balm. Really looking forward to doing that. So my thanks again to Rodney Ripplinger for the fantastic suggestion. I feel pretty lucky that I had Aveeno laying around. I thought, oh, wait a minute, I got Aveeno. This is great. I'm going to try this now. And thanks again to Mark Bagwell for the great information on on Bay Rum, and for also sending along the Grand Bay Bay Rum to the channel. Thanks again, Mark. Thanks again, Rodney. Gentlemen, thank you both very, very much. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark080, where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.